Welcome to the Chronicles of the Great North. Episode 3, The Heiress. Previously, Walter finally reached Nuggetville, a town where dreams and mud walk side by side. He bought his claim from Bo and made the transfer official at Commissioner Rockwell's desk. But it didn't take long to learn that up here, even the ground refuses to stay still. Walter also met his new neighbor, Batty, who was, let's put it this way, a true ambassador of warm and cheerful company. The claim locations were unclear, and the confusion quickly turned into a dispute. Rockwell ruled in Walter's favor, at least on paper. When Land Office Surveyor Mappy inspected the site and explained the situation, one truth became unavoidable. In the north, borders aren't lines on a map. They're agreements between people. And just as Walter believed he had secured both land and peace, something big began to rise at the edge of town. Something that isn't built with a single swing of a shovel. And the episode ended on the dark water of the river, as if something was just beneath the surface. Let's continue our story. It looks like Walter has built a sluice box, and a fairly good one at that. But today, we are not continuing our tale from the muddiest edge of the north. Today, we return to New Fork, a city so large and so certain of itself that it believes it can arrange even the wilderness. It is May 1886. Nearly 3 weeks have passed since Walter departed for Nuggetville. And while he builds his future with timber, nails, and patience, another journey is being prepared, one of very different kind. For New Fork is about to send north one of its most watched figures. Her name is Victoria Silverstorm. Victoria is the heiress of the Great North Steam and Rail Company, raised in wealth and educated to understand machines as well as numbers, engineering, economics, and the expectations of high society, which can be stricter than the law itself. She is her family's only child, and yet, until now, she has been given little true authority within the business. Perhaps that is about to change. And between us, Victoria longs for more than polished parlors and practice smiles. She longs for freedom, purpose, and real adventure. Nuggetville may offer her a world of honesty and hardship, everything she could never learn in fine city rooms. But her departure is not entirely her own decision. Her father, Alastair Silverstorm, founder, owner, and president of Great North, has chosen to send his daughter north to inspect the family's holdings and oversee its investments. Alastair believes in hard work. He built a railway empire nearly from nothing, and he does not allow anyone to remain a decoration, not even his own child. Victoria, however, does not mourn leaving the salons behind, not the way her father might expect. Quite the opposite. Perhaps this is her chance to prove she is more than a perfect smile, and she will not travel alone. At her father's order, she is accompanied by a company assistant, Edgar Silver Shadow, a man who has served the company in a variety of supporting roles and who knows how to listen far more than he speaks. Evening followed the train as it pushed northward. Victoria and Eddie rode in silence, wrapped in motion and steam, carried into a world that grew colder with every mile. And then the north pulled darkness over the land. Beyond the windows, the wilderness began to take its place. By dawn, the rails reached White Elk Junction, where steel gave way to current. The steamship Borealis waited at the dock, and the journey was far from over. The river carried them deeper into the north, past settlements that lived by current and season. The captain was a practical man, a believer in the old routes. He had seen what iron could build and what it could break. And in his eyes, iron didn't always mean progress, not for the people who earned their living from the river. And so the Borealis pressed on, steady and unhurried, carrying them farther upriver into colder skies and quieter shores. And there it was, Nuggetville, waiting at the river's edge. Victoria did not arrive in Nuggetville without an unofficial welcome. Beau, of course, had staged one himself, with enough bowing and cheer to warm the entire dock.
Miss Silverstorm, your arrival hasn't gone unnoticed.
Thank you, Mr.
Bonegold, Beaufort Bonegold. Headlines won't tell you who actually moves things here. If you need local knowledge, I'm available.
We'll see.
Well, Beau, that went rather well. Walter and Peanut were in town too, moving through the harbor streets. Soon enough, they met.
What a charming little dog. What's his name?
Shyly, Walter answered Peanut. Yes, that was the dog's name.
Good to meet you, Peanut. Maybe we'll cross paths again.
Victoria and Walter spoke for a few moments longer. Then, with Eddie at her side, she continued on her way. Walter wasn't charmed. He was impressed. For once, he saw someone who might actually understand what this place needed. Victoria and Eddie continued on to the Iron Mug Saloon, where Maggie, known around town as Iron Mug, received them with practiced ease. They took 2 rooms at the far end of the corridor, as distant as possible from the saloon's noise. Goldie Glimmersong sang there nearly every night, with Reed Keyes, fiddler at the piano. It was the perfect place for Silas to practice his art. The saloon sat directly opposite the bank, close enough for Maggie to carry her takings to safety in a matter of steps, and close enough for customers to bring money back the other way just as quickly. The same dollars crossed that street again and again. And in the eyes of the bank, that steady traffic made Maggie one of Nuggetville's wealthiest residents. As Victoria finally lay down to rest, night took the north in its quiet hands. Nuggetville dimmed to lantern light. The gold claims settled around their fires, and the day's noise gave way to sleep, while the river kept moving and the dark kept watch. She didn't know what waited beyond New Fork, but the road was open, and that was enough.